Students today have access to so many tricks that they can view in oversplit, scorpion, needle positions that they can view on social media daily, and often being rewarded in competitions for pushing the limits. Deborah, can you explain the dangers and advice you can give to the dance world?
I would love to. So the dangers of moving a joint repeatedly beyond functional range are many. The hypermobile joint may become unstable as a consequence of ligamentous laxity. You can only push a joint beyond range so many times before those soft tissues become lax. There is microtrauma occurring around the joint, and there's also macrotrauma. So macrotrauma includes damage to the connective tissues. These students with subluxations, the students who can pop a shoulder and pop it back in again, that's a subluxation, or students who can pull up and their patella slips out of their femoral groove and then they can drop it back in again. Dislocations, which can either happen untoward or, as a result of trauma. There's pain, and with the pain, this often requires treatment. I think dancers can put up with a little bit of pain, but by the time they have repeated macrotrauma, the pain is so intense that it actually warrants intervention and it warrants treatment. The microtrauma is a lot more subtle, but just as damaging. If a joint is sliding just a little bit beyond its anatomical range, then you are compromising those joint surfaces. So this microtrauma can be subtle, it can be over a very long time, but it is potentially damaging to the joint surface, and the literature will tell us in some cases can result in some early osteoarthritis type presentations. So my advice to the dance world would be, please don't reward these potentially damaging positions unless the dancer is strong enough to control the movement and mature enough to understand these long-term sequelae. If we can try to educate students that this is your risk long-term, are you prepared to accept this, and try to convince them that their answer should be no, then I would hope that our intervention can prevent that sort of long-term damage. I think teachers also need to ensure that choreography is safe for the hypermobile dancer, because sometimes these dancers will be in the front line of concerts because they can do these incredible party tricks. So that's just another way of rewarding them. So I think we just be careful with choreography, try to educate the dancer as to what's safe and what isn't safe, and hopefully they make the right decision.